by pressuring the Justice Department to put these documents out there, but also investigate what happened with this confidential informant. But I can tell you, Republicans like Devin Nunes are pushing back tonight, saying that Sally Yates and other Obama officials are just trying to divert attention from the real story, that in the words of Nunes, a bright red line was crossed when the FBI allegedly infiltrated the Trump campaign and allegedly spied on it. That meeting you mentioned, the president with Rod Rosenstein, Christopher Wray, the FBI director, they basically there, the president was demanding a new investigation to find out just how this Russia probe started. The president, it appears, got some concrete action. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders telling us, quote, based on the meeting with the president, the Department of Justice has now asked the Inspector General to expand its current investigation to include any irregularities with the FBI's or the Department of Justice's tactics concerning the Trump campaign. It was also agreed that White House Chief of Staff John Kelly will immediately set up a meeting with the FBI, DOJ, and the Director of National Intelligence with congressional leaders to review highly classified and other information they've requested. Now, that means John Kelly will be working with Nunes and others to get the documents that Nunes has been demanding for weeks now about this confidential informant. Nunes saying there needs to be transparency as Democrats like Adam Schiff object.
This is a dramatic and new and destructive low, I think, for the Congress of the United States, basically to ignore the warnings of the FBI and Justice Department and potentially risk people's lives. What they would like this information for is clearly to be of service to the Trump defense team and further any narrative they have.
We don't know if there's one informant or more informants because there's so much out there now. It's really getting tough to follow, and all we're asking for is give us the documentation that you used to start this investigation.
Now, Fox News also learning tonight that this long-awaited Justice Department Inspector General report looking at the FBI and the Justice Department's handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation has found, among other things, that James Comey and Andy McCabe, his former number 2 at the FBI, of course, who was also ousted, acted improperly by not moving quickly enough on those emails that appeared in September of 2016. They didn't act on them, look into them. The new Clinton emails found on Anthony Weiner's laptop, of course, until October 2016. That and a whole bunch of other things now under scrutiny, which shows, Sean, that it's not just the handling of the Trump investigation, but the handling of the Clinton investigation by the DOJ and the FBI still very much under investigation right now, Sean.
Deep state's being exposed. Mueller's witch hunt is crashing in. These are fascinating times. Great report. Ed Henry at the White House. Joining us now, Wall Street Journal's Kimberley Strassel. She was the first journalist to expose this huge scandal nearly 2 weeks ago that, in fact, the FBI used an informant to spy on the Trump campaign. She joins us, as well as Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. You know, I love the Wall Street Journal in their comments today, in their editorial, Kimberly. I thought it was devastating. And also the calls on the Obama administration. They're calling on Obama. What did he know? When did he know it? And now Nunes saying, Kimberly, there might be a second spy?
Yeah, this is really important. First of all, for people to remember that the Department of Justice, which is now out there hinting, and various partisans like Adam Schiff, that somehow Congressman Nunes and others are responsible for blowing this source. The Department of Justice leaked all of these details to friendly news media sources, everything short of this guy's name and his social security number.
Bingo.
And just so that they could get ahead of this and spin it the way they wanted to, because they knew the noose was tightening and they'd probably be forced to put out these documents. And this is the other important part, too, is what none of us have really had enough information on yet is we know a lot about what the FBI did, although still not enough. What we don't know, though, is what the political side of this operation knew. We know Clinton's campaign had this dossier, too. Who else had it in the Obama administration? And what other agencies were involved in efforts to go after the Trump campaign prior to the FBI's claim of its official start of its investigation?
I'll say it, so I don't want to bring former Congressman Chaffetz. Schiff is the biggest liar and propagandist on television today, almost as bad as fake news CNN and conspiracy TV, MSNBC. Bigger points here. The FBI paid this guy. We've all known his name for a long time. This is not, they've leaked it. They're the ones that did it. But paying this guy money and maybe a second spy, and I don't believe they're going to hand over the documents if they can get away with it. Congressman Chaffetz, you requested some of this very same information well over a year ago, and it's never been forthcoming.
Yeah, well, there was a subpoena we issued in 2016 for all the documents that we wanted to see. The Inspector General can get these documents if he hasn't already. I hope he's already gathered them up. I think the deep state is understanding that the truth is going to surface, and that's why they're leaking this information to friendly news sources to put their own spin on it. I think Kim Strassel has done some of the best reporting on that. But I got to tell you, you have an attorney general in Jeff Sessions who's there in name only. He's worthless. And you have Rod Rosenstein, who's there with an oxygen mask. He's totally conflicted. And I'm excited what some members in the House are going to do tomorrow. I think there's a group of 5 members that are going to actually put forward a resolution to say we need a second special
has
counsel.
a vicious temper and right now is on edge every day screaming at people. Have you heard that, Congressman?
It isn't pretty over there. I mean, it's amazing. If you look at what Rod Rosenstein is arguing, and then you look at the Democrats like Adam Schiff, this political hack that is just desperate not to have truth come out. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to have truth come out. He doesn't want to expose what's going on there. Devin Nunes is part of the Gang of 8. He can look at all that information.
And I agree with Devin. I agree with Congressman Chavez. You've done a great job, Kimberly. Last word.
Oh, look, the other thing, this has got to be declassified. Congress needs to see it first, but then every one of us needs to see it too.
The president can do that, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that needs to be the next step.
And the president can demand they turn them over now, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
The president, he's the president of the United States,
That's
the
correct.
only constitutionally elected person, and he can declassify it.
Now. I would say to the president, do it now. Do not wait 18 months for the IG to investigate with 500 people, and then we'll find out later. They'll do everything they can to spin it, lie, delete. Thank you all. When we come back, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich weighs in on tonight's big breaking news. Stay with us.